Hi, my name is Dr. Nick Tedder. If you are watching this video, then either you or somebody you know is suffering pretty bad with back pain. Lower back pain, mid back pain, maybe even neck pain. Also means that you're looking for an answer, which means you probably tried chiropractic care, you probably tried drugs, you probably tried physical therapy, you probably tried just sleeping it off. But I'm going to tell you today that 8 out of 10 patients that we see with low back pain is because they have an upper cervical problem and they need upper cervical chiropractic care. Upper cervical meaning the neck. So Dr. Nick, what the heck does an injury in the neck have to do with my low back pain? Let me explain. Structure, normal posture, everybody knows that word. Posture dictates function. So the way the body works and the way the spine works is that somewhere in life, people with low back pain typically have had an injury. That injury ricochets up the body to the smallest part of the body called the upper neck, the upper cervical spine. And you've got two little bones up there that your head sits on. Well, guess what? If that injury causes that bone to misalign, if I pull that bone out of my neck and that bone goes like this and it comes out of alignment, I'm going to exaggerate the story here, but I want you to get the point. If that head goes out of alignment like that, then what ends up happening is your head will lock like this. And people always come in the office and go, yeah, when I look in the mirror, my head's funny, or my husband tells me my head's funny. Your head locks like that. Well, your brain can't work right when it's like that. So what it's going to do is it's going to tell your body to twist and turn and rotate all itself to get the back well. So your body will literally start twisting like a snake to get your head level. The problem is when you get twisted, now the rest of your back is compromised. It's going to overwork. It's going to wear out. It's going to blow disc. It's going to weaken ligaments. It's going to weaken muscles. You're going to get muscle spasming. All other healthcare practitioners typically go to the side of complaint. They go try to fix a disc and they do surgery. They try to fix muscles, they do physical therapy. And all of that stuff feels good immediately, but then guess what happens? They always have the problem come back, and usually it's worse than before. Why? Because 8 out of 10 of those people, it's usually the upper cervical injury that's creating the twist. So if that's you, or you just now have back pain and want to get it checked out and make sure that that's not the problem, come sit down with our doctors, have a conversation. Let's see if we can help you. It's not a commitment, it's a conversation to see if you have an upper cervical problem. If you do have an upper cervical problem, or we think we do, then what we're going to have to do is do a series of 2 tests. There's more to it than this, but basically 2 things happen. The first thing we do is we're going to run a scan. Let me get this up so you can see. We're going to run a scan of your back. And a normal person that does not have what we're talking about here, they will have greens. If you're good, you'll have green. Green means there's no spinal damage, or the upper cervical is not causing your back problem. If we run a scan and we see a multitude of colors, colors is no good. Colors means we have damage to the brainstem, we have misalignments up here, and the body's crooked. Once we get that test, then we will take a very specific set of x-rays, 3-dimensional x-rays of the neck and 3-dimensional x-rays of the lower back, and figure out how this is causing this, and also lets me know how to correct it. Just to give you an idea, the upper cervical spine can misalign 274 ways, so we have to have very specific films that our office will take that you don't get anywhere else. You can't get them in a chiropractor office, you can't get them in an orthopedic, you can't get them at the hospital. These are very 3-dimensional dynamic films that allow us to measure to the nth degree of how the problem is and how to fix it. Once we have that x-ray, once we have the scans, then we can let you know what we can do to help you. So if you have lower back pain and either nothing's helping or you haven't tried much yet and you're looking for a permanent solution, contact the office. Below this video, you will see a box where you can put your name and email, phone number. My staff will call you. Renee, Sheila, Judy, they're going to call you and set up a time where you can come in and chat with one of our doctors. Again, it's not a commitment. There's no charge for that. If you want an exam, we'll talk about that when you get in here. But once you get in here, it's just a conversation, and that's all it is, to see if we can help you. Let me tell you a little story real quick about a patient of mine. He's not only a patient, he's a really close friend of mine. He's been a patient now for 6 years. I'm going to call him Larry. It's not his name, but Larry. Larry is a man's man. He's a man's man who he's physical. He's a heat and air guy. He's under houses. He's crawling on roofs. 20 years of this thing, and his back is just completely destroyed. He ended up having back surgery where they went in and they basically cut things out. They put some screws in. They put some rods in. Once they got done with that, Larry was good for about 6 months. And then after 6 months, it started slowly creeping back. Creeping down to the point where he's pretty much disabled most of the time before he met me. He was missing work 6 months of the year. He's having to have a crew work for him. He couldn't actually physically work. His legs were going numb. He had digestive issues because of the nerves coming out going to his digestion. So he came to see me. We basically did the exact same thing I told you here. We took very specific films on him. We took scans on him. And what we found is the doctors had the wrong cause. They treated the effect, which is great, immediately, but they had the wrong cause. His head was way out of position and his spine was literally crooked like this. Well, they went and fixed him like this, but they didn't correct that. So what ends up happening is we feel good for a few months, but until we correct his structure back to normal, Larry wasn't able to get well. So that's what we did. We could not do anything down here, but we realigned his spine back to normal and allowed him to get his life back. So even if you've had surgery, we can work around surgeries because usually that means that the cause is up top. So give us a call. I would love to see if we can help you, and I can't wait to meet you.